Hello and welcome everybody. J-Man back for another music reaction. Here it is a Saturday for me. I hope you're having a good day out there, whatever day of the week it is for you. We are going to be reacting to some Nightwish off of their new album Yesterwynde here. We've got a request by Cyber Jarl, Oceans of Strange Islands. And Cyber says that Tuomas described the concept of this song as thinking of the world as an ocean, and the strange islands are the people that you meet while navigating it. Tuomas has got some very cool concepts and ideas that he puts into his music and his lyrics and things like that. And it's one of the things that I really love about Nightwish. So yeah, definitely links to the original video will be down in the description below. Please pop over if you like this music. Go over and like their video. Throw them a subscribe. Do the same for me if you like what I'm doing here. Give me a like and a subscribe, and maybe hit that bell notification. Helps to grow my channel. I'm sneaking up on 6,000 subscribers. Much thanks to all of you out there that watch my videos on the regular. I appreciate you more than you could ever know. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's dive on in without blabbering too much more here. And let's check it out. So here we go. Nightwish, an ocean of strange islands. Let's get it. Very common theme. This is the third song off of Yesterwynde that we reacted to. A very common theme in terms of the graphics of their videos. I kind of like it, kind of dig it. I hear you back there, Kai, going ham on the drums. Okay, I'll say this about their Tuomas's newer compositions. It's hard to find a place to pause. Everything there's not. I feel like older Nightwish songs had natural sort of transitions, and even like different movements within the song, that made it very easy to find a place to maybe pause and talk about it. The new stuff just seems to be like full speed ahead, and there's not a whole lot of breaks. So sorry, I just have to find the best place I can find to try to pause and talk about this a little bit. So yeah, this one comes in a little hotter, I feel like, than the last two songs that we had listened to. Definitely heard some really high BPM stuff going on the drums by Kai there at one point. Floor's vocals, it's that very rapid fire lyric kind of stuff, which we had a little bit on Human Nature in a couple of their songs as well. But The vibe I got from the very first bit of lyrics was kind of harkening back to another theme that Tuomas has touched on before. That again, that theme of us floating around this ocean and bumping into other people as we navigate our way through the ocean. And there was a bit that seemed to talk about how we as humans, we've become less reliant on human interaction. Um, it's something that, me being as old as I am, I definitely see it in how we moved into this new community that we're in here in LA County, northern LA County. We're not in like LA proper. So it's a small gated community. I mean, not small, but a decent sized gated community. But it's like you don't know your neighbors anymore. There's a group of 3 or 4 young adults that live across the street. I don't know any of their names. None of them have ever introduced themselves to me. Um, our next door neighbor, I've talked to maybe 3 or 4 times in 3 years. Our neighbor on the other side, she happens to work at the gate with the gated community. She happens to work at the gate. So we had seen her there and put two and two together. Hey, you're our next door neighbor. So my wife is friends with her. But in general, I don't know hardly any there. She's the only one that we really interact with regularly. You walk around town, and it doesn't matter what size of a town. LA, yeah, big bustling city. People hardly even like give a nod to each other in passing or whatever. New York's the same way, but even in smaller towns, Greenville, South Carolina, that I lived before I moved here, there's just not that sense of community and that sense of interaction and interconnectedness with people. We've all gone into our own little holes and we live our isolated little lives in our own little world. And we rarely interact with the other people around us unless we have to, and things like that. And I feel that's kind of sad. And I feel like that's a sentiment that Tuomas has proposed a number of times in some of his newer songs. And yeah, hopefully there's a change in that. Hopefully we can get away from this self-centered, isolationist sort of a thing. And our U.S. president right now, not to get super political, but he's very much that way, isolating the U.S. from the rest of the world. And hey, it's us against them, and America first, and all of that. I don't believe in that shit. I believe we're all one world. We all share the same planet. We share the same resources. We need to get along with everybody. We need to help each other out. Everybody can use a hand now and then. There are plenty of countries out there that are struggling that it's well within our means as one of the global superpowers to be able to give a helping hand to other countries when they need it and things like that. And I am not on board with this isolationist mentality that seems to be taking over the right wing of U.S. politics lately. So anyways, all right, long diatribe there. J-Man doing J-Man stuff, right? You guys know me. I can blabber on forever, but I feel like it's relevant to what Tuomas is saying here in this song, and I just wanted to say a little bit about that. I'll shut up. We'll back it up here a smidge, and we'll keep on going, and we'll listen to some more. A lot of butterflies in all three videos. I wonder what the symbolism is there. Butterflies are moths. I think that's a butterfly. Here we go, breakdown. Is that a dolphin or orca? I think it was an orca, probably. know. Dolphin. I'm going dolphin. Could be either. I think orca would be a little fatter. So I'm going with dolphin. The sundown. This is a long one, 9 minutes. Okay, let's take another pause here then. And we'll definitely back it up a smidge. So, couple of things. There was that one little bit, that kind of creepy, scary thing that reminded me of like the stuff from Storytime, right? That kind of creepy carnival vibe that Storytime had. So that was kind of a cool, I feel like a throwback to some of their older stuff. There is something that came to mind that I really just like I said, there's definitely a difference in Tuomas's composition musically over the last two albums, Human Nature and Yesterwynde. And I feel like Nightwish fans, don't hear me out, okay? It's going to sound a little negative, but it's not meant to be, all right? There is a degree to which I feel like the music prior to Human Nature was more vocally driven and allowed Floor to much more vibrantly display her vocal talent. Like I said, there were movements within the songs where she could go into more of her natural singing voice, and then some higher, more operatic parts, and then some more grungy, gritty rock bits and things like that. I like The Poet and the Pendulum is a great example of that. Some very up tempo, rocky rock anthem sort of vibes, and then some very down tempo, mellow stuff where Floor was using a lot of her high belt mix and false and things like that. I feel like Tuomas is now using Floor more as merely a component of the musical structure as a whole. There's not as much room for Floor to play around with the vocal. We're hearing a lot more of the very, very similar sounds from Floor. There's not the variance in her voice, which is one of her great talents to me. So again, sounds maybe a little negative. If you want to spin it that way, I'm not trying to say that. It just, I would love to hear if, who knows where Nightwish goes. They're definitely, they've said they're not going to be touring as much, if any, moving forward. I think they've still got more albums in them, but I would like, again, I like the new stuff. Please don't get me wrong. Nightwish fans, don't beat me up. Okay, please. I like the new stuff. There's some bangers in these last two albums that I definitely, some of these I've reacted to today. I'm definitely going to be putting on my playlist, and things like that. But it just, I'm missing the old floor out front stuff, right? Showcasing her and her vocal ability, and also the rocky elements that they used to have that were more prominent in their music. So again, bands go through metamorphoses over the course of their careers, and Nightwish has had a long career, right? And so it's not at all uncommon for bands to go through a metamorphosis and shift into different things, especially as they get older, maybe mellow out a little bit and things like that. But to me, like I said, loving the new stuff, but for me, the vocal, the lyrics and the vocal are all so rapid fire in a lot of this stuff. It's just bang, 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 bang. And it doesn't give Floor the room to breathe. It doesn't give her voice the room to breathe and to do the things that we all have come accustomed to her doing, and things like that. So that's my little blurb. Maybe it wasn't as little as I intended it to be, but I feel like I had to equivocate a little bit just so the Nightwish fans out there don't obliterate me. Like I said, I'm not at all trashing what Tuomas does. He is the master at what he does. He is a brilliant composer. The orchestral bits going on in this song are fantastic. I'm loving it. There are some little shifts and things, into heavier bits and stuff like that. So I'm not poo-pooing what we're seeing here and hearing here from Tuomas. I love it. It is all great. I just I long for a little of the older Tuomas as well. Maybe just throw us a bone, of the old Tuomas in the albums, a song or two, that kind of harken back to that older sound, would be my request. If Tuomas were to ever fucking hear what my humble opinion is, of their music. So anyways, enough said. I've blabbered long enough. Let's back it up a smidge and we'll finish it out here. We got about 4 minutes to go. Got a big vocabulary, bigger than me. I often have to look up some of the words he uses in his songs. I don't know what that means. I hear you back there, Kai. Wish those drums were a little more forward. Interlude. I'm not even going to try to guess at what instrument that is. It's Ilian Pie. Well, I said I wasn't going to guess. that the alien pipes? Very nice. Well done, Troy. All right, let's talk about it a little bit. All right. And thank you, Narcissus, for directing OG Floke. OG, welcome to the chat. Yeah, you can comment in any of my YouTube videos, and you can also go over to our Discord, put it in the music chat section there. There should be a link to the Discord on my Twitch, but I can also send that to you here. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, I did like that. I like that little outro interlude kind of a thing with Troy. Anybody know? Was that the Ilium Pipes? Sounded like the Ilium Pipes to me. But yeah, like I said, again, you know, I feel like Tuomas is taking advantage of her technical ability and enunciation rather than write as many big virtuosic belting parts. Yeah, I agree. Narcissus, you know, I love what every component of this band offers to the whole, right? And you know, Troy with all of his 50 different musical instruments that he plays, and you know, the guitars and the keys by Tuomas and Floor's vocal, it all, they're all virtuosos at what they do, in my opinion. Um, and I just, I feel like the older music showcased that more, a little more. It kind of showcased their individual contributions to the music as a whole. And the newer stuff is, and again, not that that's a bad thing. It's just, it's different. The new is more of a composition of all of everything kind of mashed more together, and there's not the standouts you know, that I'm used to from Nightwish. And but you know, again, I'm very much with my music. The music that I like, I'm very vocally driven. The bands that I like, all bands are good musicality wise. You wouldn't be out there and selling millions of albums and stuff like that if you weren't good musicality wise, right? So the thing that stands out to me often is the vocals, and Floor is one of the best vocalists in the world, and I feel like he's putting Floor just a little bit. He's putting her into a box, and he's not letting her flourish. And that's just my opinion. So everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm sure there are people that are out there that feel like this change that they've gone through is for the better, and all of that. And I'm not saying that it's not good. I'm just saying that I hanker a little for the old. I hanker a little bit for the unbridled floor, right? Let floor run and let her do the floor things that she does, and vocally. And maybe there's a bit that Tuomas is recognizing. The loss of Marco, I feel like, was huge for the band. We don't have those vocal contrasts that we used to have with Floor and Marco playing together and stuff. So maybe that's part of his decision to kind of go the route that he's gone. But again, if I were to ever have the ear of Tuomas, it would be to, hey, let Floor out of the box a little more. Let her do her thing. Let her showcase what she's got. She's got this world class voice that I feel like you're putting her in a little bit of a box, and we're not getting to see all of Floor's voice. And I wish we could. So that's it for my ramble. I said plenty before. It was a long song itself, so sorry for the rambling stuff. If you're not somebody that likes to listen to the reactor speak their mind and go on little rants about the songs that they're listening to, I'm probably not your style, as you can tell. But I did enjoy that. Very much enjoyed that. Very good song. Loved the transitions in the composition. Lots of orchestral stuff in there. Loved the little whatever it was Troy was playing there near the end. I love that for the outro. So yeah, really cool stuff. Sounds like maybe Narcissus might have been the one to recommend this. I've goofed up twice now. Either Narcissus or Cyber Jarl recommended this song to me. So whoever it was, thank you. If you like this, please go over and throw a Nightwish some love. Give them a like, subscribe. If you enjoyed what you saw here, give me a like, give me a subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps grow my channel. We're upwards again, I said, like getting close to 6,000. Thank you very much to everybody out there that has helped to grow my channel. I appreciate you all. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. We'll see you on the next one. Everybody take care. Peace.